You got that?
Got him, old son. Merle, how about that, buddy? Yes, sir.
Welcome back. Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, strutting in the bluegrass. It's about 10:25 and we've been hunting all morning and just ain't had no luck. And it takes a day like that to humble a guy after you've been smashing turkeys for the last 3 days, but it ain't always easy. And we have struck out this morning, but we're going to go hit some public land and we're going to visit Lake Cumberland WMA and see if we can't strike up a mid-morning turkey. If we can, great. If not, we figure this is an awesome opportunity to provide all you folks with some more information on public land hunting. If you're new to it and you've never hunted on public land, the first place I would visit is our website at fw.ky.gov. On our website, you'll find a tab that says Find a Place to Hunt. When you click on that, it's going to bring up either a drop-down box for counties, so you can specifically select a county if you're familiar with the state or the area that you want to hunt. Or if you're not too familiar with how the counties lie within the state, you can pull up just an area map of the state and it'll show you where those WMAs or public areas are located across the state. Once you select a specific area, it's going to give you stats, acreage, where the WMA is located, driving directions. You can also pull harvest results through telecheck and see how many animals have been checked in on that particular area. I do that a lot of times. You can kind of tease through that, see what the harvest is on that area compared to kind of the size of it, and somewhat get an idea of what kind of pressure that area is getting. The biggest thing that I think you could probably do if you're new to public land hunting is reach out to someone that you know that has a little bit of experience. There's been some old timers along the way, friends that I've hunted with, and I try to pick up little things from each one. And if you're new to it, it can be overwhelming. But finding someone that knows how to get into these areas and actually get on birds and what to look for, especially if you're coming from a place, I know a lot of the guys that I hunt with now, we hunt a lot of field birds. And if you're hunting Daniel Boone National Forest, for instance, it's going to be predominantly hardwoods. And it's a different ball game. Hunting woods birds versus field birds, using decoys, not using decoys. So finding somebody that has that experience is really going to help. Another thing that I like to do is find an app that you can pull up property boundaries. Now, on our website, there's an interactive map that you can use, and you can actually download an app there to use that. There's other apps out there that's going to have topo layers. That's my favorite. I love topo, and if you don't know how to read it, practice. It's really simple, and once you kind of wrap your head around what those contour lines mean, everything makes sense to you. Ridge lines, little finger ridges, saddles. And I'll try to find an area that has just a big network of ridges. I've talked about this in the lives and things like that, but I want to be able, when I go on public land, to walk a lot and cover a lot of ground, and finding these areas with big long ridges is going to do that for you. So you can strike birds that way. Jason, is there anything that I'm forgetting to mention?
That's about it. We're going to talk about strategy and stuff. Who are we hunting with today?
We are hunting with Conservation Officer Sergeant Brian Dolan, good friend of mine. He and I have been hunting together since 2007, and like I mentioned a minute ago, a guy that's got a ton of experience. And this area that we're going to specifically today, he's killed birds on in the past. So we're kind of we're going to hold his hand and go out through there and see if he can't lead us to some turkeys this afternoon. Right now we got a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
We got look like a couple hunters here, so we're gonna move down, huh?
Yeah, I try to respect folks as much as I can on public. Yeah. So somebody else is in there, you know what? There's plenty of public ground out here. We'll go find another place. All right, we got parked. We're out here with Conservation Officer Sergeant Brian Dolan. He's today's public land expert.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We started to go out to Lake Cumberland WMA, and there was a couple vehicles parked at each spot. And out of respect for those guys, we didn't want to booger anything up. We are out here now at RF Tartar Wildlife Management Area, and we're going in blind. So this will be, you're going to be learning on the fly with us. We're going to get up here, we're going to try to strike a bird up. We'll try to find some turkey scratch, and if we can't strike anything up, we may just set up, call for 30 minutes or so, and see if something comes in.
Well, it's hopefully hopeful. I mean, because as soon as we pulled in, we flushed a bird out of the field, so I don't know what it was, but I mean, at least turkeys are here. So we'll find one somewhere.
We got glass half empty Bo McGuffey over here that's always a pessimist that said, what'd you say?
Usually my glass isn't very full, I won't lie, but I'm just telling you, I think a bird is gonna die up on that ridge somewhere.
Well, let's go find out. We've been trying to strike a bird up down here in this bottom, but I'd rather get up on this ridge up here. That way we can hear on both sides. A lot of times birds like to get up there. Bo's ready to go. We're gonna keep talking about it. We're gonna get on the ridge.
What do you think, Brad? Go run some ridges?
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Anywhere there's a bird.
John, you've been pretty successful on public land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hunt a lot of public land. Both my birds I got last year came off public land.
Okay.
I'd actually prefer to hunt it. I like getting on big tracts of land. That way you don't have to worry about property lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obtain landowner permission.
You use that a lot when you're hunting?
All the time. I can make sure everywhere I'm at, I'm within the boundaries. Plus, it makes it so much easier when birds gobble, trying to figure out exactly which point or which draw they might be in. Y'all let me catch my breath when we're doing this, though. We're up this hill. We've got up on this first knob. What I like to do, especially this time of day, start out with some soft yelps before you crest a ridge or anything like that, because you don't want to get busted by birds. There's no foliage right now. The woods are wide open, so I try to call, use the terrain in my favor. I start out soft. If you don't strike a bird, I'll get a little more aggressive the next sequence of calls. You don't hear a gobble, move to the next. And what we're going to do, we're going to work through this saddle. We're going to get over here. This is a little spur ridge. It's going to connect to the main ridge up here. And looking on topo, looks like there's a big flat. So I think we'll go out there, and if we haven't heard anything, we'll just set up, call for 30 minutes or so, see what shows up. That right there is where I was talking about. Get up here on this main. Heck, may get up on that knob. Then you can hear back there to that way.
Yeah. I think it'd be worth going up there to that and at least calling over there. So we've walked out this ridge that Merle talked about, and we're getting to get up here where it joins the main ridge line. And you can see here, we're starting to get to where we're seeing some fresh scratching. So what we'll do here is we're going to go up on this ridge, and it breaks over to a lot more country. So we got sign here. We know we got some country we haven't called into. If we don't strike one, we'll get up here and set up and just do some periodic calling and see if we can't get something to work in.
All right, guys.
So one other thing to think about whenever you're in a spring turkey woods, like this piece here, we looked at it to potentially come deer hunt at some point and never been on it. So especially this year, the woods are open, you can see a lot. So we just got up on this ridge line, and a couple of ridges come together. We started seeing a couple of rubs, and walking out this road, it's easy to see this old scrape with this licking branch. And you can tell this licking branch has really worked. That scrape's a pretty good sized scrape. So obviously, something I'll do is drop a pin here so that I remember this spot and come back check it in the fall.
We're just killing time now, ain't we?
Yeah. Just waiting for one to get fired up and gobble.
It's 12:39.
a lot of times I don't have a lot of luck striking birds up midday, but if you can get a bird to gobble after noon, a lot of times he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say my percentage is pretty high as far as, midday to evening birds. If they're willing to respond to your calling, then your odds are pretty good.
Yeah. We walked back in here. We're probably 3/4 of a mile back in here now, and we've kind of got to not to the end of this ridge, but we're getting pretty close to private. We found some fresh scratching, and instead of risking bumping turkeys out of here, we've found a nice flat, and with them not being super responsive today anyway, as far as gobbling to our calling, we're just going to set up here. We're going to call every 5 minutes or so for the next half hour, 45 minutes, and just see if bird comes inside. I mean, that's worked in the past for us.
Yeah, it has. Like you said, just up on this flat, you got several finger ridges that kind of go off on the WMA here, so, may have a hot tom at the end of them, and just we can't hear him yet.
That's right.
So.
Give them some action. Is that a wrap?
I'm starting to get a little hungry.
I think we're going to wrap it up on this spot. We've been out here probably 45 minutes now, calling every 2 to 5 minutes, soft calling. We get aggressive with it, and it's just not working. And you have days like that. Sometimes birds just won't talk. We've had 3 awesome days of hunting on Struttin' In The Bluegrass here, and every now and then, things just don't work, do they, Brian?
Yeah. I have several dud days.
Maybe it's Bride. Poor old Bride. He's got bad luck. But no, we're gonna ease on back to the truck. We're gonna call on the way out of here and see if we get lucky. But I think we're all getting a little hungry. Jason's got to get back and try to get some footage together for the show that you guys are going to be catching tonight at 8 p.m. But just because we didn't have success out here today, don't let that discourage you. Kentucky we're over 95% privately owned, but we have almost 500,000 acres of WMAs across the state. There's 170,000 acres that land between the lakes, and you have Daniel Boone National Forest. So, I mean, there's ample opportunity.
One of my favorite places to hunt.
Yes. So if you don't have a place to hunt, please go to fw.ky.gov, do the public land search, reach out to folks that have experience hunting public land, and get out here and enjoy it, because this is some of the most fun hunting that you can have, right, Brian?
It is. You'll make a lifetime of memories on places like this.
That's right. Just struck a bird up.
Shot gobble. We'll see if he does it again.
That's why you never give up. We've just been stopping and calling every couple of 100 yards, and Brian struck this bird up right then.
May not gobble again. He just may let me know he's down there. Just to tease me.
He wasn't on that far, was he?
No, he's in that hole.
Yep. Is that one?
He's that.
There's one over here.
I think it's the same bird.
Okay.
When I first heard him, I thought he was back this way, but that one's more
Yeah.
over this way. I know he's back over this way.
Oh, that was
That was
two
two
birds.
different birds. Yeah, I think I heard one spitting and drumming. Of course, my ears play tricks on me all the time, but it has panned out a few times where that's all I hear, and it works in my favor. So we'll see what happens.
We're gonna set up.
Yeah, we'll set up a little bit. I thought we were business. Apparently my ears were playing games on me. Wow, we definitely heard them gobbling. Yeah. They must have just been shot gobbling. Of course, we are up on a big steep ridge, so yeah. I'm sure they'd much rather us come to them than
Still pretty cool public ground. 12:30 in the afternoon.
Yep.
Strike 2 birds.
Yep. They just didn't want to play.
What do you think about that, Bo?
I don't know. I thought for a second it might happen. I'm not gonna lie.
That was pretty daggone cool. I thought it was over.
I did too.
I thought-
We're walking back out, and Brian walked up on called over in this holler, man, one hammered. Yeah.
They ended up gobbling
And
3
he
or 4
gobbled
times.
3 or 4 times. We cut at him. He gobbled 3 or 4 times, but then it was just. But it was like almost like you had to pull it out of him. And
You did. You
I,
did.
I guess it was almost. I guess they're down there with hens. But the issue is this camera. There's plenty of daylight left.
I think patience might kill that
Yeah,
turkey.
these people trying to produce shows and stuff. That's the issue.
It's show business, though. I
Yeah.
guess cameraman's got to go.
But we gotta get Jason back. So.
But it goes to show, if you stick with it. I mean, I thought it was
Yeah,
over.
listen.
It's late.
Yeah, but we walked, I mean, just up the holler there, at the head of that holler where all that fresh scratching was.
Yep.
We saw birds in that field down to the road, and then the birds hammered right there. So, I mean, they're here.
They're here.
And the good thing about those birds, anybody can come hunt them.
That's right.
Not just anybody that wants to hunt those birds.
Everybody's a public landowner, aren't they?
Good Lord. Yeah, they are.